Go. Hi, I'm Terri Thompson, and this is It's About Writing. Today we have Sandra Ardoin.
Ardoin.
Okay.
Very good.
She is an author, and she has several books published, and we're so excited to talk to her today. We're going to talk about publishing, traditional and indie publishing. But first, Sandra, I would like you to just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate you having me here. Um, I write historical romance for the Christian market. I have been actually writing since the mid-'80s, 1980s. Seems like such a long time ago. I started out writing short pieces, short stories, devotions, reading cards, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it really wasn't until about 2009 that I got into writing novels. Actually, probably more like 2008. 2009, I sent my manuscript off to an agent who was extremely nice in rejecting it. But it was my first manuscript, and as they normally say for first manuscripts that we never see the light of day. But I have been going ever since. So that's been, what, about 11 years now.
Mm-hmm.
I had just published my 5th book. I have 2 that are with a small press, and then this book that just came out is my 3rd indie published book.
Okay.
They're all historical romance.
I love that genre.
Yeah, it's really funny because I started out writing more 1870s, 1880s stories. I have several of those, and that's what I started out with. And I had no real interest in the 1890s, but every single one of my published books are 1890s.
Okay.
Except for one that's 1900. So I don't know how I got that way, but anyway. So, but yeah, that's where I am right now.
Okay, great. Well, most writers, especially fiction writers, are very interested in traditional publishing versus indie publishing. And since you've done both, I just thought it'd be really interesting to pick your brain on that.
Okay.
So, with the traditional publishing, did you have an agent?
I did. I had an agent. I got my agent in 2012. And I was, back then, indie publishing was just getting started from a legitimacy standpoint,
Right.
And so I was one of these that thought I had to go traditional, I really didn't have any interest in indie publishing. I had some friends that did that, but I really didn't have any interest in it. So I did get an agent. In 2014, she sold my first book, which was a Christmas novella. I don't know if you can see that, The Yuletide Angel.
Oh, yeah.
To Lighthouse Publishing of the Carolinas. And so that came out in October of 2014. It was the first release from their imprint, Heritage Beacon Fiction. And then in February of 2016, A Reluctant Melody came out. And basically this is a novel with a secondary character from this book, the brother of the hero here. It was kind of funny because I wrote him into the novella I just wrote him into the novella, and as soon as I did, I knew I wanted to make, I wanted his story told, you know.
Yeah.
So they were kind enough, and Tatlock was my editor, and she was very, um, you know, okay with my writing this book, and I did get a contract on it. So those are my two books with Lighthouse Publishing for a while.
Okay.
And after that, I felt like I needed to go in a little bit different direction. And a friend of mine, a writer friend of mine, kept saying, "Oh, you've got to indie publish. You've got to indie publish. Just go out on your own, you know." And that was a little tough for me because I had always had the idea of, you know, publishing traditionally. And so it took me about a year with a lot of prayer and a lot of be strong and courageous scripture, you know, reading a lot of that scripture before I finally decided to go out on my own. And I published, if I can find it here, I will bring it up. My first indie published book was just a Kindle book. I did not do a print book of it. And it was a novella set in 1900 in Alaska. And
Okay.
it was A Love Most Worthy. And so that's why I've got to show you that.
Title? Can you say the title again?
It's A Love Most Worthy.
Oh.
A Love Most Worthy. Yeah. And so that was my first foray into indie publishing. And I'm one of the main reasons I wanted to do that was I wanted more control over marketing and covers and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one of the big reasons I did that.
Okay.
Because I was having to do a lot of marketing in my other books, as every other, you know, every author has to do. But I couldn't see where I really didn't have any real-time stats as to what worked and what didn't work, you know. And so it was a little difficult. So that's one of the reasons I did that.
Mm-hmm. So did you find it is much better indie-wise?
From that standpoint, yeah. I mean, you know, it has its advantages and it has its disadvantages.
Right.
And, I'm not one of these marketing gurus, you know. It's really hard for me to put myself out there. I'm the wallflower at the party who's, you know, sitting there going, just go home and read, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's difficult for me. But I do love the control over, you know, who edits my book and who does the cover for it and that kind of stuff. So, you know, there are advantages to
So,
it.
like, why don't you give us some advantages and then some disadvantages that you found?
Well, like I said, a lot of it is just the control that you have, timing. You know, you still want to set yourself deadlines for getting the book done, getting the book out there, things like that. But, you know, you're not having to, I guess, you know, worry about a publisher's deadline, you know, and what happens if I don't make it, you know, that kind of thing. But I still have deadlines for my deals. So, you know, there's that control over timing, there's the control over marketing. I get to say, we're going to market my book, how I'm going to market my book, that kind of thing.
So as an indie publisher, how do you go about marketing?
Well, I wish I were better at it. To be honest, I wish I were better at it. From a marketing standpoint, for me, indie-wise, it's the advantage is when I run ads or something like that, I have real-time stats that I can look at, and I can say, okay, I put my money in here and it's working good, so I'm going to let that ride. Or, I don't, this is not working for me, so I'm going to stop it. Well,
so for example, like, do you use Facebook?
I use Facebook.
Because I know I tried that before. And
Facebook ads, is that what you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have one ad going now just for the release of this new book.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's been a while since I've had an ad on Facebook. I've been using Amazon ads and BookBub ads.
Oh, okay.
Mostly. So there is that, and there are newsletter swaps and promos that you can do for like Book Funnel and Story Origin app. Both have those. I have a couple of those running right now. Things like that. There are things out there that you can do that are both free and paid. So you just have to look for them.
Oh, good. So did you publish with Amazon, or can you promote with them no matter what?
Oh no, all my stuff is published through Amazon. However, I publish through Amazon for my ebooks, but I go through Draft to Digital to set up my formatting for my books, and then I let them take it wide. So in other words, they have it, they are distributing it for me through Barnes and Noble and Apple Books and
say that again. Who does that?
Draft to Digital.
Draft.
Draft. D-R-A-F-T.
Draft. Okay.
The number 2 and digital.
Okay.
And it's all one deal. And they're pretty good about you can upload your manuscript to their site, and then they will format it for you, and you can download it in a Mobi for Kindle, or an EPUB for the other sites, or a PDF. If you're going to do a print version, you'll need a PDF. And so you could do it that way, and you can either let them distribute it or do whatever. They have the free formatting for you. So I do that, and then, but I upload it to Amazon for my ebook, because there's no point in paying. You pay basically a commission to Draft to Digital when they have it to distribute. You pay like 15% to let them distribute it for you, kind of like a commission. And so there's no sense to doing that if you can go ahead and upload it yourself onto Amazon.
Okay.
It just doesn't make sense. Because Amazon's not only going to take that, or they're going to take that 15%, but then Amazon is already taking 30% plus a delivery fee. So,
No.
That's a no-brainer.
Oh, okay.
So the only thing that Draft to Digital does for me is I have gone wide with my books. In other words, I'm not exclusive to Amazon through KDP Select, which is their, like Kindle Unlimited, that kind of thing.
So what would you say were the main advantages of going indie like that as opposed to going through a small traditional publisher? Like what were some?
Well, cost for one thing. I mean, that's an advantage and a disadvantage because when you put it out yourself, you have all the costs. You have the cover, you have the ISBNs, you have the editing, you have whatever, whatever all your marketing. So costs can get really high, but then you're getting more in royalties.
Okay.
So it can, hopefully, you make that up quickly. And, all those costs, hopefully will be made up quickly. And so that's, there's an advantage there, but also, small publishers really, they don't pay advances. So, to be honest with you, I figured, if I'm not going to get an advance, I might as well just take it all on myself,
I see.
hopefully get the bigger royalty, hopefully, hopefully, if your books sell. So,
Yeah, I know it's changed over the years since I started writing, because in the beginning it was, you really need to have a traditional publisher to be like a real writer, or, to be accepted, and that's changed so much.
Yeah, the internet, and to be honest with you, Amazon in particular really changed things. And before it seemed like all you had were the self-publishing companies that took so much money and basically gave you nothing.
Right.
And the vanity publishers. But now indie publishing is very legitimate and the preferred way for many people to go, and especially as the slots, lessen so much from, with traditional publishers and stuff. So, yeah.
Well, I think it's great we have so many more choices now that are good choices, that people can actually find our books and things like that. It really, I think it helps the author. It makes it more difficult to make a decision, but
it does really. Like I said, it took me a year to decide whether or not I wanted to do this. In the meantime, I was still hoping to get with a bigger publisher, one that paid in advance and stuff like that, but that never seemed to work out. So once I finally felt comfortable with the indie publishing, that's when I decided to go ahead and go. So, and I like it. I like it. It's free. I would love to be a hybrid publisher, but the problem is, hybrid author. But the problem for me is I am a very, very slow writer. It takes me forever to, it really does take me a while to finish. Not horrendous, but I can do a novel, in 6 months. But it does take me a while, so. Which is kind of a disadvantage if you're publishing indie, because so many authors are just putting books out, just right and left, and I just can't do that. It doesn't work for me. My brain is such that it doesn't work for me. I have to really think about things for a while.
Yeah, I could relate.
Yeah, I think the older you get, the slower things move. So
yeah, although I do feel like I'm getting a little better because I don't have as many distractions as I used to, and I'm learning as I go a little bit better of how to prepare a novel before I start writing. So I'm getting better, but I don't know that I could really beat 6 months. That's,
Well, it's taken me a while to get to that, but
yeah.
usually it was before it was taking me 8, 9 months. But this last book I did it was probably about 5.5, 6 months.
Wow.
And
Yeah,
I had a
I
lot of
think
fun.
editing for me is harder than just the writing. So the, you know, just going back through everything and making sure everything. So
Yeah,
sometimes
that takes a
rewriting.
while. Takes a while.
Well, tell us about your new release. You just released a book, or it's about to release?
No, it came out Tuesday on
Oh,
Tuesday.
yay!
Yeah, it's Enduring Dreams. Again, I just
Wait,
have
you
the
have to move it a little bit. It's not showing up. Oh,
oh,
is
my
it on here?
fire kind of disappointed me there. Let me see if
Oh,
I can
is
find
it
it.
only on Kindle? It's an ebook?
At the moment, it's only on Kindle. It's Enduring
Okay.
Dreams.
Oh, there it is.
Um,
And what's it called again?
Enduring Dreams.
Strength?
Can you see it?
Oh,
Dreams.
yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. Enduring Dreams.
Right. Yeah, it will be on, it will be a print book, but I'm still waiting for my proofs on that. And
Okay.
there's been some problems with the printer, I guess. So I'm still waiting for that. But there will be a print book, and they will both be available wide. So it'll be Amazon and Barnes and Noble and iBooks and Kobo and the whole works. Overdrive, the libraries have it. It's actually the first novel in my Widow's Night series. Last October, I put out Unwrapping Hope, which is a prequel novella to the Widow's Night series. So
Oh, okay.
it came out last October, and it's also wide. Just went wide with it. It's also my reader magnet. So if anybody wants to sign up for my newsletter, they can get it.
Okay.
But yeah. Anyway, it's set in a fictional town called Riverport, Indiana, on the Wabash River. Unwrapping Hope is 1896, the end of 1896. It's a Christmas set. And Enduring Dreams is the next summer, so it's summer of 1897, spring summer of 1897. And Enduring Dreams is let me just tell you, the Widow's Mite is a group of young widows who meet every Sunday afternoon at the house of an older widow. It's basically the older mentoring the younger, okay? And so basically they meet for support and fellowship and mentoring and counsel, that kind of. So basically these books are about the women involved in this group. So the first book, Unwrapping Hope, is about Phoebe Crane and Spence Newland, who is whose family owns a department store in Riverport. And then Enduring Dreams is about Claire Kingsley, who is, she starts out working at the store, but she's an architect in a time when women architects were, there were very, very few of them. There were a few, but there were very, very few. And but her husband was an architect, and basically she learned from him. She was an apprentice for him. So basically it deals with kind of the prejudice against women in careers like that. And she meets a new architect in Newport and is given the opportunity to work with him on a house and to design a house for another man that she met. So she has to basically get past some fears that she has, some bitterness that she has, and things like that before she can really feel settled and feel basically go on with her life.
Mhm.
That's what that.
Well, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, well, I hope so. It's gotten some really good reviews, so I've gotten some good feedback on it.
Oh, good, good.
I'm
Well,
happy.
I will put up your information that you sent me.
Okay.
This will be on YouTube. And everybody, I just encourage you to go to the website. It'll be right underneath or right beside this video. Go to the website and check this out and buy this new book. And thank you, Sandra. If you want to wait just a minute.
I appreciate it, Terri. I enjoyed it. And there is on my website, there is a little scene excerpt that you're not going to see on Amazon. So,
on your website? Okay. Mm-hmm. And also if they go to your website and sign up for your newsletter?
They get, this is my reader magnet.
Okay.
So you can buy it on Amazon or Barnes & Noble or what have you, but if you sign up for my newsletter, it's yours.
So
get a link to download it. So, okay.
Sounds great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.